Mauritania's fragile democracy. Up to 1.5 million voters have been deciding whether to accept changes to the country's constitution, which opponents say could allow the president a third term in office.
The Mauritanian people want the constitutional amendments so the country can prosper.
The president says he will not run for a third term, but my opinion is that we want him.
President Mohamed Ould Abdelaziz has been in power since 2009 after he led a military coup to depose his predecessor. Under the current constitution, he's only allowed to serve 2 consecutive 5-year terms. He's already halfway through his second one.
I may make some amendments to the Constitution, and it has nothing to do with what the opposition think about a third term in office, but we want to improve our Constitution.
The ruling party of Mauritania wants to reform the constitution. One of those reforms is to get rid of the Senate. The Senate is the upper house of Parliament. It says the Senate is too expensive and it basically duplicates the work that's being done by the lower house of Parliament. But opponents of these reforms say it's the Senate that effectively puts a brake on the power of the president and can help to dictate how long he spends in office. Also on the ballot, whether Mauritania's flag should have 2 horizontal lines added, marking the blood spilled during its fight for independence from France in 1960. The reforms have provoked violence and protests between crowds objecting to the changes and the security forces. The opposition has been boycotting these referendums. They say it would only make the vote seem more legitimate if they took part. The Electoral Commission says the vote is fair.
I think Mauritanian election laws have given confidence to the opposition parties in previous elections. Those laws will reassure the opposition for this referendum.
But those who oppose the reforms aren't convinced.
We believe the turnout is less than 10%. We expect, as usual, that the regime will try to rig the election.
After the vote, Mauritanians will be watching to see if the president keeps his word and doesn't stay in office for a third term. Matheson, Al Jazeera, Nouakchott, Mauritania.